folks, we are spending this early September day back up in the mountains of Vermont, and you know, the leaves are already starting to turn. It's a little early, but it's going to make for a beautiful day out here. So I'm hiking to an old stone foundation from probably the mid 1800s, and you know, oftentimes I'm aware of the last name of the folks that lived at these places, but I don't mention it in the video out of respect for the privacy of the landowner. You know, it's fairly easy to research these names and find out where these places are and come out here and potentially trespass and metal detect because of my video. So I usually don't mention it. But today I talked to the landowner about the name of this person, and I think it's important to the story for the video, so they gave me permission to mention it. Their family called this place the Cartwright House. They're under the impression that's the last name. I grew up a couple towns over, and I went to school with some Cartwrights, so it's not out of the question, but I did some research of my own, some old maps and some records that I have access to, and it seems like that was their occupation, a Cartwright. Now, I didn't know what that was. I had to look it up, and apparently it's somebody who repairs and builds wagons. Could it be the last name? Could it be their occupation? Could it have been both? Hopefully, we're going to be able to find evidence either way with a metal detector today. We're walking up this non-maintained ATV trail, and see when we get there. Alright, well, I think I finally found it. The landowners gave me a GPS point just like from memory. They dropped it on Google Maps. And so it wasn't quite right unless I missed something. What they're calling a cellar is just a very subtle stone, stacked stone U shape. And I'm wondering, I don't want to get ahead of myself, I'm wondering if maybe that's more of like a workshop, if they were in fact making wagons here. And maybe there's a cellar or something out here that I haven't found yet. But there is a beautiful little babbling brook over here. Again, I have to wonder if maybe they were using that for turning something, for power. Let's go take a look at this foundation. So these stones here are what caught my eye, and then maybe you can't see, there's a U shape with squared off corners right here. So I'm excited. I'm gonna get my metal detector out of my bag and see what we can find here. This is a cool little find. It's not much of it, but this is the top portion of what would have been a Conestoga bell, probably about this big, I would guess. When I looked inside, I noticed that like dimple. I've never seen anything quite like that. I'm not sure what that is. It must be from the casting process, but these were made out of usually a brass material, and sometimes they can be very, very brittle depending on the composition of what's in there, and oftentimes I find them broken like this. I'm not sure exactly. I imagine the more brittle, the louder and the nicer sound they had, but obviously the more fragile they were. Nice one. All right, let's keep going. Well, I can honestly say this is the first of anything like this I've ever found, for sure. I got a pretty good target. I thought maybe it was going to be a coin, and when I got it out, it is super heavy. And just looking at the shape of it, I'm fairly certain this is like a little pumpkin, like a little knick-knack made out of, God, it might be iron. It's super heavy. It might be like lead. But yeah, this appears to be just like a little decoration. Places like this, I hardly ever find anything like this. But this is a very interesting find. A little lead pumpkin. Bizarre. Really, really cool though. Alright, let's see what else we can find. Alright, well, so far, I've been having a terrible time trying to differentiate between these big iron nails that I've been finding out here. I've been finding a lot of them, and good targets. But took a chance on this one. I was expecting another nail. I don't know if you can make this out. I think it's another bell fragment. We're going to pull it out together. Oh, it might be a big one. Oh my gosh, it's complete. Awesome. Look at that. Get this out of here. Clapper is missing. That's still beautiful. Look at that. 2 bells now. I guess that makes sense, right? If they're making wagons out here, these are classically called Conestoga Bells, and they would have been hanging on wagons. Awesome. Let me get out that fragment from earlier. No, 2 different sizes. This one is smaller. Different shaped top on it. This one doesn't have that interesting dimple. Awesome, 2 bells. Well, that's a good sign that points towards the wagon maker theory. Alright, let's keep going. Okay, well, I just got a little piece of brass here, sheet brass. At first I thought it was a coin. I got real excited and revealed that it was not. And then I thought maybe it was a spoon. Where'd it go? Here it is. And I started cleaning the dirt off. I haven't done this side yet. And I'm pretty sure there's an image on this circular part here. Unfortunately, it's folded up, as I've learned with sheet brass that's been in the ground for a couple hundred years. There's no straightening it out, unfortunately, without it breaking. So we're just going to try to figure it out as is here. Let me clean it off a bit. Yeah, it looks like there's water down there. And I'm pretty sure that's a ship. Unfortunately, God, I really want to unfold it, but it will just break off. I think it's just a little ship decoration. Maybe on a trunk or a piece of furniture. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool, whatever it is. It's got a ship on it. Not sure what it is, but it's pretty. Let's keep going. So, speculating, thinking about kind of the situation of this place up in the mountains. It didn't seem like there was a ton of stone walls up here, but I was thinking that road, ATV trail that I walked in on, was pretty substantial. That was probably the old road, and it probably continues right up over the top of the mountain. I'll have to recheck the maps. I would think that, you know, if a wagon needed repair, they wouldn't want to hike it all the way up a mountain. But, you know, maybe they were serving travelers, or maybe they were just making them from scratch and selling them. Hard to say either way, but here it is, and it's becoming more and more clear that that's probably what this place was. Beautiful place. Let's keep metal detecting and see if we can find some more of that proof. So I was digging and digging, and I just found the top of a bottle. So I don't know if that necessarily means we're in a dump or what. You see how uneven that is. Anyway, the actual target here winds up being one of these. Anybody know what that is? This is a Rains guide. Would have gone in a wagon and done just what the name of it suggests. It would have screwed in and would have been a guide for the reins for the horses. That's pretty cool. I found several of these, but this one is flat. Never really seen one like that before. It's pretty neat. That's how people got around back then. Alright, let's keep moving. Is everybody sick of seeing spoons yet? Yeah, we find spoons almost every time out here. And we got a really, really big one this time. You know, I've heard varying theories about why we find so many spoons. First of all, I think that they were just more common than forks. I've also heard that children used them as toys, and you find them broken and scattered about around the property. Certainly find a lot of them. That's a big one. Alright, we are right next to the cellar. We're going to keep making circles around it and see if maybe we can find some more spoons. Alright, I got another very iffy target here. I'm down by the brook again. You can see how close. It's right here. And I'm looking at, I'm on the fence. I think it might be another bell. I don't know if you can see this here. See that round rim there? Let's pull it out. Oh, nope. Oh. Well, that's called a buggy brake. Geez, I guess that makes sense. Let me see if I can get this out of here. This one's clearly used. Let me get a stick here. Back when they were using horse-drawn wagons, they had a pole that the driver would hang on to and jam into the ground to slow down. And these brass caps were on the ends of these poles. And over time, this is the side that would push against the ground. You can see the angle that it was on. It would push on the ground and scrape, and over time a side of it would wear away. They take it off and replace it with a new one. So this is a discarded buggy brake, and you can see it is very well used. They wore right through here. Makes sense. The Cartwright theory's starting to hold up more and more here. Buggy brake. All right. Not a valuable find monetarily, but you know, to prove our story, very, very good. Let's keep going. Right in this little sunny patch here. 81. That's a very nice target. Let's see what we've got here. Yeah, I see the rim of something silver. Nice. You see this here? What do we have? Oh my gosh. Oh, I thought that because of how shallow it was, I thought maybe it was a modern drop by maybe a hunter. But I do not think so. That is a dime. And from what I saw when I peeked at it, it's pretty old. Let me get my water out. Nice. Do you see that? That is a seated Liberty dime. Looks like 1887. Beautiful. Look at that. 1887 seated Liberty dime. Right at the base of this big oak tree. Maybe after a hard day's work, they sat down under this tree and stood up and dropped the contents of their pockets. That's beautiful. We're going to pack this away, wander around some more, see what else we can find here. Well, I've been wandering around metal detecting for the better part of the day now. But you know, I've been thinking, I can't really find another home foundation, like with a basement. And there might just not be one, I guess. You know, maybe there is a home out here that didn't have a basement, which would be impossible to find without stumbling upon it with a metal detector, which I have done in the past, but no luck so far. So depending on how the rest of the day goes, maybe we'll have to take another trip out here and maybe bring a couple more people and see if we can find remnants of some nails from a home. So cool though. Alright, let's stick around this area. We'll do a little bit of wandering, but maybe we'll save that for another day. Well, just got a very, very loud mid-tone on the metal detector. So check this out. Anybody want to guess what that is? I think I know what it is. It's hard to tell without seeing this, which I'm pretty sure this was the spout of a teapot or a little iron kettle. Isn't that cool? Awesome. This is, I wish it was all together. It might, you know, all the pieces might still be in here, but it's pretty rotted out. The things that we find kind of give us a picture of what these people were like and what they were doing. And just like us up here, wanted a warm drink, probably, you know, in the wintertime, warm themselves up. All right, let's stick around this area, see what else we can find. Well, I've been finding a lot of shotgun shells out here, which makes sense. They deer hunt out on this property. So I was expecting another shotgun shell here, and it winds up being another spoon. And I've already found several spoons. I've stopped showing the camera. But I saw this one, it's like, whoa, a silver spoon! But it's not silver, it's just plated. But there's a monogram on here. You can see I rubbed the plating off when I... More careful here. God, is that a C? What do you think? Is that a C? Could it go this way? I don't think that that's a B. I think it's a C. The plating is really starting to come off. You can see right here. I think that's a C. Cartwright, right? It makes sense. Unbelievable. All right. Maybe they was both their name and their profession. Let's keep on going. Alright, I don't know if you can see that. I'm freaking out. I'll unplug my headphones here and let you hear what this thing sounds like. Listen to this. So that's an 80 on the metal detector. And it's so loud and it's so shallow. I 100% thought that was going to be a beer can. I didn't even use my shovel. I kicked it like this. Look, that is another bell, and it's huge. Look, oh my God. Oh, it's broken and smushed. That is incredible. I'm shaking. In the stream here, well, on the bank of the stream. Oh, the clapper's still in there. It never is. Here, let me take a minute and get this cleaned up. Clapper's gone. The clapper was almost always iron, so they don't stick around, but the brass does. And something I just kind of noticed that I find interesting, you can see that it's like there's two shades here. There's like a dark side and a light side. It must have been sitting like this, probably exposed for some time, and then it got buried again, clearly. Find of the day, find of the week. Incredible. It'll probably still ring. I don't know how I would set up a clapper in there, but it kind of sounds like a cowbell right now. I'll tell you what, on that note, I don't think we're going to beat that. We'll swipe the metal detector on the way back to the foundation and take out all of our stuff and see what we found today. Man, what a day. Those bells. Can't say for sure, but based on the things we found today, it seems like Cartwright was definitely their profession. 3 bells and the Rains Guide and the buggy brake. But with that spoon with the C on it, it seems like it was probably their name too. Incredible. You know, we didn't find a ton of valuable stuff today. The seeded dime is pretty nice, but just being able to kind of connect the things that we find to the family that lived here and reveal some history that maybe the landowners were unsure about, I find that incredible. Let's check out everything we found. Items that I feel like confirm the occupation story. Obviously, we have 3 Conestoga wagon bells. We have... I heard a crash over here. Something's running through. Deer, probably. Anyway, we have our Rains Guide and our buggy brake. We also got some horse tack stuff. I'm pretty sure that this is a horse tack buckle. It is fairly delicate, but I think that's what that is. And then we have the Nan Cartwright artifacts here. We have this little thing with a ship on it, maybe used to adorn their wagons if they did in fact make wagons here. Hard to say. We got a lead, I haven't still really figured out if it's lead or iron. I think it's lead. A lead pumpkin? Your guess is as good as mine on that one. We got the spoon with the C on it. Typically a family name. Cartwright makes a lot of sense. And the seeded dime, of course, dated 1887. And we did wind up finding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more spoons. No buttons today. Usually we find dozens and dozens of buttons, but maybe that's more of like a farm type thing and less of like a business type thing. Awesome. Really great day. All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to start hiking on out of here. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you next Friday for another new video.